So my name's Cole Ryan. I'm from Perth, Ontario. One thing I want to do before I die is I want to watch either the Toronto Maple Leafs or the Toronto Blue Jays play in a World Series or Stanley Cup final game. Um, I watched Food Inc. I give it probably a 4 out of 5. It was a good documentary, very insightful, but there's a lot of crazy stuff that you don't understand that happens to your food that goes on there. So overall, I'm actually pretty happy that I had watched this documentary. Um, there was a lot that I had learned about how our food's processed and raised that I had no idea of before. Um, but one of the most interesting things I learned about was the way the industry treats the farmers, raising all the cattle and the pigs and the chickens. They have to do whatever they say once they sign the contracts. They have nothing. They have no other way to make their money than by doing what these guys say. And once they start buying all this stuff and taking out loans, they have to continue. They rack up about $500,000 in debt in a year, and they only make $18,000 profit. I feel terrible at the end just seeing the fact that the owners of these companies sit back and make tons of money while animals are being abused constantly. Farmers are being forced into massive amounts of debt, but the company they don't care. The companies are still making all sorts of money, selling tons of food for next to no cost, and putting it who knows what into our food, and people are buying, people are paying for those prices, and they don't care. Because at the end of the day, they're still making money. I wouldn't go as far to say that the film has inspired me to sign any petitions or start any groups, because I mean there are already tons of them out there I can imagine. But it will inspire me to maybe think about what I'm buying, look at stuff a little closer, see what they're actually putting into our food. Um, these massive companies, they put anything and everything in it to try and be able to make as much as they can for the little cost. So the best thing we can do is to try and buy locally, buy fresh foods. That's the only way we can guarantee that we know exactly what's going into our food. But at the end of the day, that's probably the biggest thing, the biggest change I can try and make to stop this. I'd say the purpose of these environmental documentaries are to help people see and become aware of what's actually happening out in the world. Because, I mean, our government hides a lot more than we think from us, including the industries, massive companies. Because, I mean, all of our food is coming from only a couple of main distributors. And they're constantly hiding what they're doing into your food, what they're doing to animals. So I mean, documentaries, they help people to actually see the real problems that are happening around the world that industry and the rich try and hide from people who can't see this stuff. In my opinion, I'd probably say the biggest environmental problem right now is the economic footprint that we leave, or that everyone seems like in North America is leaving, between all the toxic waste and when we drive our cars. It seems like all the poor countries in the world are paying for our mistakes because of what we're doing. They're all receiving the backlash from it. And until we can actually stop and start doing the right things, eating the right ways, disposing of our garbages properly, the world and global warming is only going to get worse. All in all, I'd say Food Inc. definitely worth the watch, and it'll definitely help you think about what foods you want to be eating from now on.